So what's the deal with all those chords? I don't know. I'll give you a topic. Is it in a key or not? Talk amongst yourselves. But in all seriousness, there's a lot of chords in Deal from the Grateful Dead, and we're going to go over just that. And we're going to look at how it revolves around the key of A, more of an A Mixolydian sound. But let's just dive right in. So the first part, the intro, is just A, right? So I'm not even going to get into that opening bluesy little riff. Just focus on the chords here, right? Because I think this is something that stumps a lot of people. So, and even if you know it already, you may not understand exactly kind of what's going on with these chords. So we're going to go over that, and if you don't know the song, this would be a great way to learn it. So, intro part, you could just simply play A. You can also play it here. With any of these, we could, play them all over the place. It's a great way to explore different voicings, especially if you know the cage system well. Kind of try out this way, try it out up here, or whatever, this one here. But we'll just stick to the easy one for now here. So, intro's A, right? Then we get into the meat of it, the verse, right? So it starts again on A. And then if you were sticking in the key, it would be a C sharp minor, but they're playing a C sharp 7, which is essentially a C sharp major chord with a dominant seventh on top of it. Play it this way, whatever. I got it written out this way though. Just like playing a C, adding this note here, sliding up one fret, don't play that string, middle 4. Right, so what's going on there? Why would they play that? It's a little outside of the key, which kind of fits the style, the sound of this tune. And what that is by having this major third of C sharp, which is an E sharp. Quick side note, why would I call it an E sharp, not just an F? It seems a little weird. Some people might say, oh, it's a little pretentious. Why don't you just call it an F? Totally could, but when you understand why, it makes a little more sense. And it's good to have that mindset of kind of understanding the music theory a little deeper level. Because if you're going up from C sharp 1, D sharp 2, E sharp 3, a little tough with all these sharps, right? But either if it was C. But if you said C sharp, D sharp, F, you'd be skipping a letter. F would be the 4th letter up from C, or C sharp in this case. So it makes sense to call it E because it's the 3rd one, and then it's, well, technically E sharp, right? So that's what's going on there. And what that does, though, that is 1 fret behind the next chord, F sharp minor, and that F sharp right here. So if you didn't play that, it was more of a minor thing. It doesn't pull there, so it's what they call the leading tone, a note 1 fret behind the root of where you're going. So in this case, it makes it sound like it's almost changing keys, but not entirely. It's just a slight change in direction and color, and that pulls it up there. So that's what's happening there. And then comes back to A, to the 1 chord. Also, this would be considered the 6th chord. If you don't know what the numbers mean, don't worry about it. If you do, this can be helpful though. Then we go to the 4 chord, D, and then here's another change, a D sharp diminished 7. So fancy chord. This is, a good way to think of this sound is in the early days of film and silent films, there might be like a woman tied to some train tracks, and the train's coming, the guy's trying to untie her, get her out, and it's really suspenseful, and you might hear piano music. Really builds suspense, so think of that's that chord, a diminished 7th chord. Really fancy name, fancy sound. So what that's doing though, it's the same idea. It goes back to A, and if you just played an A over an E, you'd hear this even more. You'd hear D, D sharp, E. So there's a lot of chromatic stuff in here. And you can also just play the full A, still in there, but it emphasizes it more if you don't play the A in the bottom. And so that's just a connecting chord. It's just connecting the D to the A. And then it also takes these 2 notes, they stay the same. This one goes up a fret, D to D sharp, and then this note, this D right here, when we play a D, goes down to a C. And what that does is it does a thing called counterpoint. You've got different notes going different directions. It's a huge thing in classical and jazz and stuff too. It creates a lot of interesting sounds. You get these weaving lines, So you have this note going up here, this one going here, so you end up with really cool sound. And then these two in the D, they stay the same. So those kind of connect it all together. So this one's going up. This one is going down, and then when you go back to the A, it goes to here. So this line goes D, C, C sharp. So it kind of dances around this note right here and the A. So that's what's going on there. It just kind of jazzes it up. A little nice connecting chord between the D and the A, the 4 and the 5, 4 and the 1 chord, right? And then we're sticking on A, and then we're doing this little, again, chromatic thing, just going to an F sharp, this time major, or if you want, you can even take this off, play F sharp 7, yeah, it's up to you, but essentially it's a major chord. And then it goes to B, and again, you can also play B7, and then it goes to D, you can also play D7. I like the 7ths. It kind of brings out this sound, this color a little more, but that's up to you. And what happens though, when you're going from the F sharp to the B, is now this is what they call a pull chord. Just like the C7 to F sharp minor at the beginning, this now pulls to there. Here's the leading tone to B. So right there in the F sharp, this note in the B. So you get that? And then just takes this chord. This is out of the key. It should be technically minor in A or A Dorian, but it's or A. But they're just doing this. It's not actually pulling a normal way. It's just going up 3 frets, a little dramatic sound, and then brings it back to the A. And then it goes through the same thing. You can play C sharp minor. I'm sorry, C sharp 7 here, this way. And then the same D diminished 7, and instead of going to that, then it goes right into the chorus, which is really easy. It's just A, G, D, or you could play it open. 4 times of that. So it's a 12-bar progression, and it's kind of like there's these lines that kind of go together that are 4 bars. So 3 of them, but the first and third ones are exactly the same. So you can think of it as this long 12-bar progression, but I think of it more like an 8-bar with an extra 4, and it seems like it would go twice, but it jumps into the chorus to that A, G, D. So when you think of it like that, it's like 2 out of the 3 lines are the same. It makes it a little easier to remember, a little easier to digest. It's like, oh, it's not quite as much, as it seems, to notice that pattern. So I recommend, just getting these chords under your fingers. Of course, always listening to how they sound. Try it really slow. If it's tough for you, make sure you just try it, chord by chord, just back and forth. Really just drill it in, and notice those key notes that I brought out that are outside of the key, but pull towards different directions. And the idea of the counterpoint too, and all these chromatic things, and that's what gives it a unique sound. So at some point, I'll make a video about soloing and doing improv over this stuff and how it ties in. But for now, just get these chords under your belt and have fun with it. I'll see you in the next video.